Hello my lovely ravens, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chantel and today it is time for another thrift store makeover. Yes, I did a box makeover last week, but that wasn't a thrift store box. I just bought that at a dollar store. But I found this one for 50 cents. I also have a salt shaker one for 50 cents at a thrift store. So I thought I could make it into one of the pepper grinder weapons from Alice Madness Returns. So I emptied it. It is completely wood and metal. There's no plastics in there. This part I can't get out. That's it. So what I'm going to do now, I want to put lights in. I'll put on the screen somewhere what I want it to look like. So as you can see, I need some holes on the sides so the light can shine through. And then also I need to widen this a little bit because the lights I want to put inside are just these yellow lights. And that fits, but that battery pack doesn't fit. So I need to widen that just a slight little bit so it can fit in next to this thing. Anyway, I'll be back when I've done that. And for me, it takes a little while. For you, it will take a couple of seconds. So I'll see you in a minute. In a few seconds. All right. So I went ahead with my Dremel and drilled these holes in. They are very, very deep. The wood is very, very thick, like 1 centimeter thick. And it was hard to get the Dremel into that, but I made it work. That's the eye, and that will be the mouth on both sides. That's the same. Kind of see through it as well. And then on the inside, I had to drill in here as well, so this would fit. This is basically the light. So there we have that. And I'm really happy with what this is looking like so far. But I think we should go ahead and do some sculpting. By the way, I did sand the outside just ever so slightly and then clean it with a wet cloth with some alcohol on it. And that's why it's semi-glossy. It's the shine is all gone. And now I can attach the polymer clay to it. All right then, I have my polymer clay here and I have a slab of translucent Sculpey prepared, which is the first layer I need to put on top of this so the light can shine through once it's baked. And after that, I will be building up the sculpture with Super Sculpey Original, which is this one. They come in different packages, but I will link everything down below so you can have a look for yourself. And this is all prepared clay, so I've conditioned it and it's all soft and pliable, like so. So it's ready to be worked with. First, I'm going to apply this one and then move on to the actual sculpting. I have some circle cutters, which are just normal cookie cutters. I'm just gonna cut out 2 of these small ones and 2 larger ones. And this is Sculpey Bake and Bond. It's going to shape that a little bit. And apply that to that cavity. Ever so slightly going to push it in. There we have one of them, and I'm going to do the same with all the rest of them, and then I'm going to bake it for the first time just to secure in those eyes and making sure that everything is okay there and that we can see through the eyes, or that it's translucent. There we go. I'm going to do that for the other side as well and then give it a bake. Well, the eyes came out, and the mouth, by the way, came out really, really good. Really the way I wanted it to. So, and the light shines through, but I'm not going to show you yet. In the meantime, I've been making some little rivets, and this is the end bits that are on the little grinder part of the pepper grinder. and the rivets that go at the front here. So I can bake them separately and then push them into the clay when I'm ready for that. And now I'm going to build up this part. And because this is a bit wider, and then it goes down to the face and then goes down to the snout, and then those rivets here. So I'm going to do this first, and then I'm going to build up with polymer clay. Okay, so the blocking for the back part is now done, and with blocking I mean I block in the main shapes. So this is the main part, and this is another main part, and it's got 3 pieces that stand up. So I have an image of the pepper grinders here, and I'm making the bottom one. So we have the mouth and the eye, which is those 2 parts, and this is the snout bit, which is that. Now my pepper grinder is a bit longer than this pepper grinder in the image. This part is basically this part, but I've elongated it. Well, because this pepper grinder is longer, I had to elongate it with this part. So what you see here is basically this part, and then again this part. So it's got 2 of those parts. And sometimes you just have to improvise if you're working with a base that is a little bit different from the original artwork. So there we have it, and I can still screw that bit on top there. That's there. Then add these rivets, that one, to the backing. So I am now going to add details and bake it, and then after that moving on to the front part of the pepper grinder. And it looks like there's a lot of space there, but I'm going to add clay here as well to make those eyes lie in the sockets a little bit deeper. So I will do that when this part is done. So that I will need to sculpt out of every part here. So I'll just be working my way through the top of that, carving it out as I go. So I've put all the heart shapes in, and behind the hearts I put the wood grain. And then I went around with a dotting tool, adding this hammered steel texture. It is not in the reference images, but I really do like this look. And I think it looks great on this as well, just to give it a bit more of texture. I will then add the rivets and all the designs in here and at the top as well. And there's some designs in the metal too. So I'll be adding that as well. And then I will be baking it for the second time, because I baked the eyes, and then I will bake this. And then I can move on to the front of the pepper grinder. This is what I have right now, and I'm about to bake it. So it's all detailed, and I put all the swirls in, all the rivets on, and then once this is baked, I can move on to the front. We have a baked piece now, so I can touch this and then work on this part, and then a baked top as well, which fits on quite nicely. Let's continue the sculpt, and now I'm going to start making the head of the, it's a hog, I think. Looks like a hog. So the first thing I need to do for this snout is cover the entire thing with liquid Sculpey first, and then with polymer clay, and go from there. Also, I have a piece of tin foil sitting here, so this doesn't go back and forth. It can only move left to right. sure I go around the eyes because I don't want to cover that up. I'll get to that in a minute when I've covered the entire thing. So I'm just going to cover the entire thing like I'm doing right now. And then once I've done that, I will come back to you all and start adding the details. Okay, I covered the entire thing with clay, and now I'm just gonna, I might have to work on the wrinkles first, but this is gonna be the eye. It's just basically working snakes of clay around the eye and around the mouth to make it look the way it looks. But first, I'm gonna roll out this snake of clay a little bit thinner and work on the wrinkles on the nose. Basically starts from here and goes forward a little bit and then onto the other side. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's blend this one out first. This is the thing about polymer clay, like I've said many times before. Blending, blending, blending. So much blending. Then we have the first one. I'm not gonna show you all of them because it takes quite a while to blend it all together. Basically, I'm going to add another 1, 2, 3, and then I'll be back with you and show you what it looks like. Just blending them in the same way as what I just did. All the wrinkles are done and I'm gonna give it a bake because I don't want to disturb this, and I'm really happy with what it looks like now. And then I can build up the snout and the eyes. All right then, this thing is now baked. This is turning out a little bit darker because this is how I put it in the oven, so it sticks up a little bit. I hope it holds up until the next bake. So now I want to drape this around to get that elevated part there. I'm just shaping it around, sticking it on as we go. I'm just gonna blend this together. That's it for that part. There is another layer that goes on top of that. So I'm going to roll out another piece of clay. So I'm just slightly gonna cut off this edge because I want to curl it over. So I'm leaving about 1/4 of an inch, if that. I just want to kind of curl this over like so. So it's a little bit thicker, but I want a little bit of an edge that goes out. More so at the top than the bottom. I want to keep that like that so I can still see that it's a pepper grinder, or it ever has been a pepper grinder. And obviously that's the weapon as well. So I'm gonna leave that as is, but I believe it needs a nostril ring. So I'm just gonna sculpt that out of Sculpey and then glue it on at the end. Something like that. What I might do though is put in the same kind of patterns that what I did here at there, and then poke in these little rivets at the very end, bake it again, and then do the eyes and the hair, and then finish it off before I start painting. Whew. After 1, 2, 3, 4 bakes already, it is finally time to make that face, give it a final bake, and then paint. I did add some more Sculpey, liquid Sculpey to this little pot because I kind of like using it like this, so I don't have to shake that bottle every time I want to use it. So I'm just gonna apply some to that baked clay, rolling out that snake of clay like I did before, but then I didn't sculpt the face. Cut it off there, and then I'll sculpt this round. So that will be the end of the eyebrow. And everything that lands on the eye I can just scrape away later, like this. Or go over with some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip. I think it even goes lower, up to like there. So maybe I should change that. Here we have it. There's one mean eyebrow. And underneath that, there's another eyelid. It kind of starts all the way there, as it does. And then goes around there. And then underneath that, there's another one. Blend that out as well. There's a one mean eye. I'm just gonna sculpt out the teeth and then attach the teeth. So the tusk goes somewhere there, comes from the bottom. He is completely baked, completely done sculpting. I attached the nose ring with super glue and baking soda, bicarb soda, because bicarb soda makes the super glue bond instantly and it's seriously stuck. It's seriously stuck on there. He's got his little legs, he's got his hair, he's got his little ears, his eyes, his tusks, and he's ready for painting. Now, I've also made the crank. So basically, I made that thing and that thing from polymer clay. This is the end bit that goes on here. That goes on there. And then in between that, I'm going to put this thing, which is the crank. And the only thing I created extra was this piece of cardstock. So this is 3 layers of cardstock. I just drew a circle, punched a hole, drew another circle and connected the two. And then I stuck this one on with super glue and baking soda again, and 3 beads. Well, 2 beads and the little shiny thing, also with super glue and bicarb soda. Now I need to paint the entire thing black except for the eyes and the mouth. After that painting black, I'm going to go in with the colors. Relax, see me paint, and wait till the end result. I'll see you there. And this is it for the first thrift store makeover of 2022. If you like it, make sure to give the thumbs up to let me know if I should do another thrift store makeover. All my other social media can be found in the description box below, and if you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and bell notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and of course, become part of the Raven family. Thanks so much for watching, stay safe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!